Hello world, Patricia O'Connor, Frida Reba Darcy here. I just got through doing the longest video. I'm sorry if y'all watched the longest video. Y'all are some real trippers. I would have been fast forwarding through most of that. This is a little quick look. I'm going to do a follow-up on several projects we've had going. All right, first, spent the last couple of hours working on this guy. Part 4 was pretty long, but this is our opportunity to get in here and see what we had done. We brought up all these, we chipped up all of our little pads. We brought down all of our branches. Yeah, brought all of our, I could bring that one in a little more. I think it's fine. We brought our head down a little tighter. So that's a quick look at this guy. Last night, as I spilled the beans in our last show, I was up a little late. What I did was I did some maintenance to these guys. In order to get the needles to look that good, I had to cut them back a lot. I'm not a big fan of cutting back needles, but those were all sun-burned needles, and I cut back the dead part. So they're not doing any good hanging there dead, so I cut them. Might have been that they stored energy or something. I didn't think about that. But the tree looks a lot better cleaned up, and I also put another bend in it, as I did these other couple of trees here. This guy got a little more motion in it. That little Ponderosa is looking so good. And then, so that was that one. And then she's gonna do this until she drops something over the side. That would be, this one probably needed the least. It was the greenest. It was least affected, because you can see all of its little needles are still rightly pointed and had the least burn on them. But I put some more motion in it. I brought that apex, put another bend in it. It was going a little more straight up. So that has us there. That's how. That was what I was looking forward to doing, working on this one, and this one. And I did that, and I was happy with my work, and then I moved over to this one. You may also remember this tree used to be planted in a round dish type. And this is this guy after that work. I'm happy with what we did. I think that it was in a compromised position. This position has it up facing a lot more, facing the light better. I pruned it back a little bit too, so its pieces aren't competing with one another. And I think that's a nice pot for that guy. So that's some stuff that we did. Now, on another front, you might recall just a couple of days ago, I was talking about on our watering show. For instance, I have not watered this tree since then, and it still has not completely dried up. But here's what. Knowing what's up has given me the power to have the last say as to whether or not this guy is going along overwatered. And also I know that it was definitely getting overwatered because of the amount of water that I was giving it, because I couldn't wait this long, because I didn't understand why it was it needed to wait this long. I understand now. Also in the summer it won't take this long. Why am I saying all of these disclaimers? Because friends have been making the very good argument that I should do a repot on this tree. And we're not. We're just not going to do a repot on this tree right now. That's not a no. That's a not right this minute. And by this minute, I really mean this minute. I could accumulate some big loomy soil for this, and we could get this guy going. But here's why I'm hesitant. This tree has gone through a half a dozen things in the last 2 years. It's been shipped from across country. Since 22, it's been harvested. Spent a couple of years in a box, got sent to me across country. I took all the branches that were up here and brought them down here, giving the tree a restyle, then decided to overwinter the tree in Auburn so that it would overwinter properly and continue to stay in good health. While we were doing that, we decided to graft the tree. So basically my styling that I had done was going to get cut loose, and it was only 2 or 3 months old. A lot of that but then a lot of the tips were pointed down because we cut loose all those wires to all my wiring, not my wiring job. It was actually wired. I set motion into them the way I liked, but it was actually wired by the gentleman who harvested this tree. So having done that, it's gone through all of those changes just to have us put grafts on the tree and cut all that wire loose. Now all of my buds and tips are kind of hanging down. It's over here. It's getting good light. It's in the right position, but it wasn't taking up water the way I wanted it to. We got a bazillion degree heat, which causes needles to look like that. So I still have some third year needles that I'm looking at. I still have some heat damage that I'm looking at. But on top of all of those things, we're still pushing out new growth. The tree hasn't been so affected by water as to affect its ability to continue to push out stuff. And it did that and slowed down just as our weather got cold. So it seems to be awake and aware and alive and doing all the things it's supposed to be doing. I would like this to be huge, rocky, loomy, I mean not loomy, but huge, rocky, with a lot of oxygen soil. This would have also allowed me an opportunity to change the angle, which I have no idea what's really under there, right? So being proactive, I've tilted it at an angle, which will help percolation a lot. I have also started brushing this back so that I could see what was down there. That's what led to my EGAD. Now I see why this won't. So I'm also going to brush all of this off, sift the bio gold out of it, and put the bio gold back down. And I'll have about 2 or 3 dishes of this. All of this will be allowed to drain better, and I will not water it until it is time to water. The tree has already started greening up again for me. I can see on the daily day, it's only been a couple of days since we've had that reality. But when you're just out of the sweet spot and then you kind of get it back, it doesn't take too long to see results. So I'm confident that knowing where we're at on this tree and knowing why means that I don't have to affect one more change on this tree by repotting it right now. When I should repot this tree is when all of our grafts that we're going to have on here, and that's something else I'm about to come up on, when our grafts have taken hold and we start cutting back the ponderosa growth. First thing we'll do is we'll start cutting back the tips of some of the dominant growth, and then a couple of months later we'll cut back 50% of all of the ponderosa growth. And while this is happening, the Japanese black pine growth will be allowed to continue and further and push and be more and more dominant. At some point, when we are almost ready to remove the last of the ponderosa growth, that is when I would like to do my repot. That is when my teachers have told me that is the perfect time to repot. If between now and then I see where my being aware of our water situation and then acting accordingly is not enough, then I'll go back, then I'll change that and repot. But right now, I'm thinking, armed with the information that I know what we're up against and I know why and I know what I'm going to do, I'm going to wait on the repot until I'm going to stick to my guns up until the time that I originally said I'd do it, being aware of the fact of what's going on now. If I continue to see yellowing of this thing and not just continued improvement, then we can still do our repot. And that would be a minimum repot. I would just basically, I've already cut the tree loose from the wire because it's settled in here. But I would take the pot, turn it on its side, brush off whatever's going to come off, lift it out of the pot, tease the bottom, put some big rocky substrate down in there, and then go back with it. And then even then, that would only be to get me the 2 years to where we're going until we swap over in a new pot and a new life as a Japanese black pine / Pondo Yamadori. So those are my thoughts and my game plan. Like, I can't stress enough, that's what I'm thinking. That is not written in stone. What else I'm thinking is that I've been given a potential time of towards the end of February if I want to bring the tree back to Peter T and get 3 more grafts. And the answer is yes. Yes, I do. So knowing that the end of this winter, beginning of this spring, it's going to go and get 3 more grafts on it. And from those 3 more grafts will still be taken off, just like the same plan as always. And yeah, that's my idea there. So that's got us caught up on that Ponderosa, those Ponderosas. Everybody else is just looking, I would say is looking very, very nice. Yeah, we're drying out between our periods of overwatering that we had been going through. These are our little tube plantings, and here's a little quick overview of all of our seedlings. They need weedlings. There's seedlings and weeds or weedlings. I could go back through and clean those up, but those are a lot of little healthy trees in there. There's our 20-year from seed, and here's our oak, aka log. Everybody's looking good. Everybody looks like they're feeling good. I'm feeling pretty good. This is what it looks like to live in Alameda, California, kind of close to San Francisco right now. You can kind of see the mountains off in the distance. On the back side of those buildings is the ocean. I'm literally, if I could throw a 100-mile-an-hour fastball, I could probably throw a baseball into the water from here. I appreciate you. Frida appreciates you. And let's back up and take a quick look at our balcony and all of it. And thank you all so much for watching. Yeah, see, a little quick in and out, nobody got hurt.